The signs of homelessness and poverty are abundant in the downtown core of Calgary. Finding solutions to the issues are complex and have been further complicated with the downturn in the economy and the rapid increase in the city's population. Those in the core have witnessed these changes and challenges over the years. Among them is Michael Ward, pastor of Central United Church for more than 30 years.
Downtown is very diverse, and that's what one of the characteristics is of a city center. So we have the haves, the have-nots, we have the power brokers, we have the powerless, we have extremities, and they're all existing or coexisting down here.
One organization that is effectively reaching out into the community is the Calgary Urban Project Society, or known today as CUPS Health and Education Centres.
CUPS, from its origins to today, which is in excess of 20 years, really is focused on helping families and individuals move from surviving to thriving, like our tagline says.
CUPS Health and Education Centres are a cooperative effort in the community, a continuing testament to its very beginnings.
The idea that became CUPS started in the mid-'80s when we brought together a group of churches and then agencies to talk about the needs of the street population that were knocking on all our doors looking for money. And we thought that's not enough to hand them money, let's try to really see if we can help them together, but we need to do it together. And so we talked for 2 years, weekly.
CUPS opened its doors in 1988 and has not looked back. It continues to move forward with passion and a clear sense of purpose, addressing what it calls its 3 core areas: health, education, and housing.
We don't just look at what we can offer as people walk into our doors. We look at what the continuum in our community is. And those are 3 areas that we felt were gaps in our community, that we can fill through the expertise that we've had a history of delivering to individuals and families.
CUPS houses 2 medical clinics, one that cares mostly for homeless men and another specifically for women and maternity needs. The goal is to address the bigger picture without judgment, giving the most vulnerable a safe place to get the help they need.
So we're not just looking at their stub toe, but we're also looking at, well, what kind of boots do they have? Are they housed? Are they walking the streets at all times? Are they safe? Is their mental illness on board? What is their whole picture?
When I think of CUPS, I think of health as our nucleus in many ways, because that is our goal: healthy, productive families that are happy and thriving. Education's always been a focus of CUPS, so we've always offered parent development programs, and that's everything from literally parent education, ages and stages, appropriate expectations at different ages and stages, cues your child might be asking. We've evolved into this center that is a very comprehensive One World Child Development Center program that looks at issues or negative effects of what homelessness and poverty can happen or can have on a child. And really the goal is to allow children to enter grade 1 on an equal playing field where they are optimally ready to enter and learn like any other child.
Housing is the 3rd core area and is foundational to help set the stage to address health and educational issues. A recent innovative program has helped to house over 1,700 people in the past couple of years, half of those children, utilizing over 125 landlords.
CUPS Rapid Exit Housing Program is part of the 10-year plan to end homelessness, and that's funded through the Calgary Homeless Foundation. And a few years ago people got together and said, this is ridiculous, people not having a house. So the Rapid Exit Program grew out of that, and what we do is we take people who are homeless or living in shelters, hook them up with a landlord, look after their subsidies for a little bit, and provide some case management so that by the end of the year they're stable and housed in a place of their own.
Sindy and her son Kevin are an example of those who have benefited from the housing program as well as health and education. She immigrated from Mexico a few years ago and bunked in with extended family and friends for most of that time. Recently, with the help of CUPS, she was able to find a place to live with her son, which came with some unexpected emotion.
I couldn't believe it. I thought I was doing something out of this planet. It's always nice to say I have my own place, and for my son, practically. So he loves it, and I love that he loves it.
Though thrilled to have her own place, she found the financial responsibility to be a challenge. Once again, CUPS was able to help with an offer to drive bus for their preschool program, which her own son participates in.
I was struggling for about 2 months for looking for a job, and I got a phone call from them because I had talked to them about it. And they called me and they said, "Are you interested?" And I said, "Absolutely, yes." that was the one missing piece that I was missing from after having a house, having my son in school. I was really looking for a job, and so it just came to me. My number one dream is get my own place as opposed to renting, and just make sure that my son is happy, obviously. Maybe have a career of my own. Get it started now and maybe be somewhere in 5 years. I haven't thought about that, but I'll think about it more.
One day at a time. Hey?
Yes.
CUPS is bursting at the seams these days with the growing need for their services. They have now the opportunity to double their square footage and increase the help they give. Once more, it is a community effort to make a difference in the lives of our most vulnerable, and CUPS is endeavoring to raise $8 million to match the monies already on the table. This is a challenge Carlene readily embraces.
I get asked a lot why I stay at CUPS and what keeps me there. And I think for me, one of the biggest impacts that I know we have done incredibly well at CUPS, and I think through my leadership and through my predecessor, I absolutely can say the philosophy I live by is if you could make a difference for those that have more challenged life, wouldn't you?
I think Jesus' words in Matthew 25 are words that should convict every one of us as followers of his. When he talked about, when I was in prison, you visited me. And when I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was naked, you clothed me. Are words to take to heart, because he was talking about who would be accepted in the kingdom and who would not be accepted in the kingdom. And then he said, and they said, well, when did we see you like this? And then he said, as much as you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers or sisters, you did to me.
For more information on how you can help with the new CUPS Health and Education Center's Capital Campaign, go to cupscalgary.com.